So the last time, how many lab we have seen in netmiko? So these three lab we have seen in last. So this is the simple lab asking user and password and to view the command. This is the
Hey,
lab
Ankit,
for config and
Ankit, could you please share your screen?
yes, Mayur?
Uh,
Okay, okay. Oh, no problem. Okay. So these three lab we have seen. Okay. So first simple show command, config simple command, and then we tried for the opening a file using config and opening a file from device. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll go to our lab, we'll connect one router. Take this one. Okay. And we got three. Okay. And then okay.
Hey, Ankit, again, screen is. I got it.
Are you able to view, right? It's viewing, right? No problem, correct?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So what I did, I added one more router. Now this router also I'm able to do talent from this. I'm able to do SSS from my box. Okay. So it's a simple thing. Last time we have tried simple script. Now what we'll do, we'll create one more script. So we'll have two files, one for router, one for switches, and we'll see how we can configure in one shot two different type of configuration on different devices. Okay. So for that, COD code. Okay. C, Control V. So we already have this. Okay, and here what we'll do, we'll not call this into the group. So we have total how many devices? I have four. Okay, let's see. Four switches you have. So let me copy paste. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, so switch one, switch two, switch three, three. Mm. And instead of I do like this. Switch one, two, three, and one router. Now I'll put the hardcore IP. Okay, hardcore IP. Using hardcore IP will be
Ankit, your voice is low. I think.
okay, okay. So what I did now, I'm putting the hard
Okay.
coded IP. So switch one IP I
Okay.
set, switch two IP I set, and this is switch three IP. I believe, 10.10.10.21, and router IP is 20, 20 dot this. Okay. Now, so before that, let me create a list of all these switches. So I create a list of switch name K equal to create a list. I use this switch one, switch two, switch three. Okay, and then I'll initiate the connection with the switch. Okay, so to initiate the connection with switch, let me put here. Okay, and here I'll do the configuration for router. Okay, so but before that I need to have two files. One file I already have, and second file I have, okay, see with the name of r rconfig. Control X. So I'll create one file with the name of rconfig. So c1 config, sorry, nano import .txt. In this interface pass 0 description, WAN port, control, control, okay. So I have now two files. One is config.txt and second is rconfig.txt. Okay. So to run this, we need to put this into the loop. Control X for X two, okay, okay. Now initial configuration. Okay. So what I'm doing, I created three switch, one router. So router switch file is different, router file is different, config file. So switch for all three switches, I created one list, and for this list, I'm running one loop. What I'm doing, I'm initiating SSH connection, and then here it will be config set. The file name is config this one. Sorry, this is H. It will be H because we are opening as S, so it will be H. So now this will change to O, control S, because this file we are opening as a H, this file we are opening, router file we are opening as a O. So the router file will go as a O, control S. Okay. Now what we have in this lab. So this is the router file, and device. Let it be as it is. Okay. We'll see if it is working or not. Now let me try to run. Now all switches are on. Okay. PIDHO and Python. But Python. Configure switch 1. Is done for switch 2. Switch 3 also cover. Now let's see for router. The router is failed to enter configuration mode. The router screen error. Nothing. See, we are initiating connection to the router. Router given is same, password is same. TCP, IP is 10.10.10.10.
Hey, I think Ankit, your mic is little bit away, so your voice is not clear.
Okay. No, I'm speaking slowly because
Okay,
I'm doing
okay,
exercise, right? So
okay,
what
okay,
we did here, we done is right. So it was not. So let I'm just trying why it's not initiating. So what
okay.
happening with the router? It's in the enable mode. Okay, enable password is not set. 1 minute. Let me try to set the enable password from. Then we'll see if it's working or not. Enable password. Admin. Control. Control C. Okay, now let me try to initiate again connection. 50 10.20.101 8 CISC okay, let's see why it's asking this. Yeah, now it will work. So earlier it was asking enable password. So this is the thing in with netmiko, your password, whatever password, username, password you are using, it should be a configuration prevention. That means privilege level should be high for that those. Otherwise, it will go to the enable mode and then it will going to ask the enable password and then it's going to fail you. Okay, so let's see to run now again the same script. So earlier what was happening after configuring these switches, it's coming to the router, it's logging to the router and it's unable to go to the configuration mode because it's stuck in the enable mode. Okay, so make sure your password, username password should be high privilege. That means should be configuration level password is to use. Now let me try to run it again. So, okay. ADNIN, CISCU. Okay, so it's done directly configured the router. Now it's going. I have not saved, that's why it's taking like that. Let me save it again. And last time one more time we'll try to run it. ADNIN, CISCU. So now it will go configure for switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and then router 1. So similar like switch, we have created one list, right? So if you have more router in your production or in your task, then you can add more routers. Similar way, you can create list and then you can create loop and then that list you can call to the loop for the configuration. Similar way, you can configure multiple device if you have like one. So similar way, if you have access switch, core switch or 5 type configuration you have, so you can open each file with using this with open function. You can call this to the uh, script and then you can bind all these similar kind of configuration with one type device, similar kind of configuration, other configuration with other type of list, and then you can similar way you can run the configurations, run the task. Okay, so now it's done. So what it's did, one single configuration, one single script which can configure switch as well as router configuration on the same time. Okay, so this is the script netmiko 4. Now let's see few things how we can avoid uh, the mistakes or errors in the netmiko. So let me create one more file for netmiko 5 okay, now let me and then okay. 192, 168. Let it be like this now. The switch 3 it will be there. Okay, now what we can do. So what if your password username is incorrect? So sometimes we was not knowing, right? We are putting a password. So script should give the proper error that the username and password is incorrect, or the device is not reachable, or timeout, or some any other error. So for that, what we can do, we can there is a keyword in the Python try. So try and accept. Okay. So what it should try to connect. It should try to connect. Okay. It should try to initiate connect. To initiate network connection, the command is net connect handler. Okay. Initiate a connect to the switch. Okay. Now accept, accept, accept. Okay. But before that, we need to call some few more library. So from netmiko, we are importing import getpass. We also did. Now few more library is netmiko ssh. From netmiko ssh, netmiko ssh exception. From netmiko ssh exception, import, import. This is for the authentication error. We are calling this. Okay. Then from netmiko ssh exception, import authentication exception. Okay. Now if I call here authentication exception. If we are getting authentication exception, then what should it do? It should print me like whatever. That means authentication error. If it's giving me, then it should print me authentication error. Okay, let's try first this. So what I'll do, username and password. Let me try to put the wrong username. Then let's see what's happening. Okay, so I'm doing SSH to this 101. Let's do the 192.168.22. So this box I'll do SSH, this box, and we'll see if I'm putting a wrong username or wrong password, what will happen. Okay, let me try to run TUITH Python. Let me go Python. What it's saying. Okay, username is AADMIN. So I'm putting wrong username. Instead of admin, I'm putting triple admin, triple AD admin, and then password like BLTCISCA, and let's see what happens. it's giving me clearly that authentication error. The message which I have typed here, it's printing me out here. That means if so, this means this if you're putting wrong username and password, then using this method you can tell to the user that your username and password, or instead of that you can also do username username either password is incorrect. So if you're going to do the same thing again, username password it's going to give me the same username password is incorrect. So this way you can give it to the user, username password is incorrect. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second, if if your IP is incorrect, what you say, what you can check with this, how you can check, accept for IP you can see, you can call any, yeah, netmiko netmiko one more library I want to call. Okay, so there is one library also netmiko, yeah, netmiko timeout exception. So I'll use this now. Netmiko timeout exception. Okay. So here you can give the message to the user, device timeout. Okay, device timeout, that means the IP which whatever you are putting it's not reachable, or you are using the wrong IP to SSH the device. Okay, so to check this, what I'll do, I'll change the IP. Instead of 1, I'll do 12, control S. Okay, now let's see it's printing or not. So username admin, password CISCO. It's taking time because I have put the wrong IP. It will wait for some time and it will see, yeah, device timeout. See these messages, that means if first first thing it's verifying your username password, second is saying okay device timeout or device is not reachable, because sometimes we need, if you not have this kind of thing, then if you're doing wrong thing then it will stuck in middle. So it's better to before stucking you can give to the user message that okay your device is not reachable or your username password is incorrect. Okay, so now third thing what we can check, any other error. Okay, one more thing you have, SSH expect SSH again for SSH exception here. SSH not open. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll correct my IP here, and I'll only allow the telnet instead of all. I'll do only telnet. Let's see. Input telnet. Control C. So what I did, so first type of error is showing password or username incorrect. Second type of error showing timeout. Third type of error will show SSH is working or not to that device. Okay, so I'll go to this device. I already disabled the SSH now. It's only working on telnet, and we'll see. Now let me try to run this Python netmiko file. ADMIN ending. Password is CISCO. See, it's giving me error SSH not open. SSH not open. SS is not open. It's tried to initiate the connection, but it's got the error. And the last, it's giving me the printing me a things which I did printed here. But I can do anything. I can print anything to user, but I am printing that SSH is not open. Now let me try to connect SSH back again. Input, parameter 0, transport input all. Control C. Now if I'm running it, see it gone through. So in the last, if I'll use the same command input to get the command, so let's use this. It's a send command, right? No, send command. Okay, so if I'll send the command. So I think interface will nothing like this. So if everything goes fine with this script, it's going to print me this output. See, if password is correct, device is reachable, SSH is open, everything is fine. Then in the last, it's going to print me this output. Okay. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me make it again the device IP wrong and Control S. Now let me try to run this. Because earlier we are running with single line. Now this entire script. Let's see device IP. That means this should give the timeout error. Timeout. That's why it's taking time. Not defined. Okay. Okay. Understood. Okay, instead of that, what we can add more thing. Okay, okay. See why it's saying connect is not defined, because this thing we are trying. So inside the try, if you saying connect this thing, then outside the this box, it will not able to read this. So let before put break, let's see one thing. Uh, Let me put it also inside the both box. Right, Now let me try to run. Uh, okay, but it will be inside this only. It will be inside this only. Okay, let me try. Let's see it. So what it was doing earlier, it was saying timeout. Instead of saying timeout, this was saying timeout, and then again it's reading the this output connect and something like that. So what it should do, if it's a timeout, it should stop the things. Okay, it should not do anything. Now it's doing it. Okay. Now let me correct the IP. Now it's working. Okay, let's reading again. No, it's not working. Why? Because it's going this, and it's not reaching to this. SSS error is not there. That's why it's not considering this thing. Okay, that's why it's not considering this thing. So to do this, what we can do, let me pair all these things control X for S in switch, for S in switch, for S in switch. To try, right connect S into S. Should connect this, it should connect this, should connect this, and if everything is done, then it should connect this. X minus, let's see, connect, connect, and go connect. Mhm. See what it's saying. Okay, right. Okay, now it's printing the output. Okay, so if I'm running everything inside the for loop, it's printing the output. Let me incorrect my username now. Let's see if it's working or not. So what I'll do now, I'll run the same script. I'll incorrect my username, AAABMIN. So it should give me authentication error, CICO. Yeah, it's giving me authentication error, password is incorrect. See, more lines are coming because it's going to down the line and it's reading everything. Okay, to avoid this, what we can do here, we can have a break function. Okay, I think we discussed this, a break and continue function in the Python basic class. So what this break function will do, so controllers, if it found that there is a accept authentication error, it will break the loop here and it will stop everything. Let's see it again. Control S. ADMIN, sorry, password is incorrect, ADDMIN and 3IS0. So anything can be incorrect, password or username. So now we see it's breaking the loop at this point only, and it's giving me a simple error. Earlier it was giving it was not breaking. Earlier it was also printing the same thing, but it's going to the further line as well. That's why it's giving me all more errors. So now it's giving me a simple line error saying username password is incorrect. Okay, then let me try to do the timeout thing. Control S. Okay, AEMIN, password is CISCO. So it's a timeout, that's why it's taking time. Yeah, device time. So this is the best example. So if this is if you know in your environment, you can use this to overcome with the errors, right? If you have some kind of error, device timeout, or you will not know, okay, you are searching what's the problem. Instead of that, you can configure this way, and you can get the error. So this here I'm only using so IP interface command. You can use the config also, and you can push the configuration to the device. If username password is correct, device is not timeout, SSL is open, then it will initiate the connection and it will put the configuration. So this is the fifth script example, control S. Okay. Now we'll discuss two script which I already have. I cannot run in my device because let's see, let me open where it is. Okay, okay. So what if suppose sometime what happened, this script what it's doing, so this script is converting your username sorry, your credential file into the decrypted format. Okay, so now because these are automatic, right? So sometimes you have this script is running. What this script will do, go to your credential file, copy the credential and use the same credential, right? Every time you don't want to need to put again and again manually. So all these scripts you can do the automate using the Linux box. So in Linux there is a function cron tab. So what cron tab will do, it will set the timing, what time you want to run this script. It will gonna to run automatically. But to use the contract you should give the username password, but it's not a best practice to have a hard coded username and password, because right now you're doing running manually. That's why you can ask from user and you can put it the manual username password. But if it's automated using Linux machine or some Linux system or contract, then you need some file with the password. It's storing your username and password, but that file should be in encrypted form so that nobody can read it. Okay, so this is a simple example how you can create a file with the decrypt form. Okay, so I cannot run because I try to install this simple encrypt function, simple encrypt library, but it's giving me so much error, so many errors. It's not installing. So what I did, in my GNS3, I install this automation box, and we'll run the same script here, and we'll see it's working or not. Okay. Uh, let's see. Let me delete this. Let me connect this to this. Okay. So in GNS3, you also have options there. You can have a Linux box. So this is nothing. This is just a Linux box. It's not started. So this is the Linux box. Okay. Now I have I don't have IP configuration on this. Okay, let me do it. So this device IP is 23.2 and I have set it 23.4 here. Okay, now let me try to ping 192.168.23.2. It's pinging. That means from this automation box, this device is reachable now. Let's go for the. Okay, let me do first. See, I already have this file. Okay, so yeah, this this configuration, this Python file I already have in my automation box. Okay, you can see it here. To read the file, cat input. So this is the same file, but this is in this automation box is in Python 2. That's why I'm using Python 2 thing, Python 2 file here it is. And what this file will do, this file will ask one file credential device. So let's see. Cat. So this is my one file which having my credential of my routers and switches in my production environment. So first is the IP, then username, and then password. So this is my file. So what I'm going to do, this file I'm going to encrypt using simple encrypt library, and then I'll create one file with this. So what it will do, first it will going to ask you the file which device credential which having your username password. Then it will use a key, it will ask you the key using which you want to encrypt. So if you have the key, then again you can decrypt the file using the same library, but you should know the key first. Okay, so the thing is, if you use the key Cisco, and we are using here key Cisco by default, Cisco, then what it is doing, it's opening a file with the read format as a dc.in, and then it's reading everything. Okay, so dc in file name, this is the file which we ask from user here. So we are opening this file as a read format, and here what it's doing, it's converting into a csv format. Okay, this file is in text format, this is in text format, this converting is in csv format, and then this creating a list. Okay, using this file. So this list is containing device credential reader, device credential reader, this is containing. Okay, now what is doing here, we are encrypting the file. So here we are creating one more file. So you can ask username, or you can, by default it's going to take this username. We are creating one more file with encrypted device credentials. So this is device credential is our original file. Encrypted device credential will be the file where our username password going to be stored in encryption form. Okay, then it's going to open one file in binary form, and this thing going to convert this credential file into the, that means this is going to convert, this line will going to convert your actual username password to the encryption form. After that you're going to print the message, okay, I have encrypted the file. That means the script going to print the message. And again here we are decrypting. So here till here we encrypted. Okay, now we want to see, okay, we encrypt whatever encrypted file we did, can we decrypt again back to the actual credential using the same key. So again it's doing decrypted, and it's printing the same output. So let's do it. So ls, so in my this automation box I have two file. One is Python file, one is the device credential file. Okay, now I'm going to run this script, python encrypt info.py. Okay, it's asking the csv input file name, whatever file name you have you can give, otherwise by default it's going to take this device cred name, because of my file is also with the same name. So I'll say nothing, I'll put enter. then it is asking encryption key. If you want to use some different encryption key, you can put it. Otherwise it's going to use the Cisco, because in this we are saying or Cisco. That means if you're not putting any value, that means it's going to use the same value. Okay, let it be use same value Cisco. Enter. Now it printed the file which this file was having. It printed the things. Okay, this file having the IP, username and the password in this format. Now it creating an encrypted file. You want to change the name or you want to use the same name, just put the enter. Now it creating encrypting all this file into encrypted form. It should print a message after encryption. Yeah. So here till here it's encrypted the file. Now it's decrypting again the same file which it encrypted. Okay, using the same key. So it will be verifying, okay, the whatever file you encrypted, it's having the same content or not. Okay. So here getting credential, it encrypted, and then it encrypted here as well. So see what two things we are asking after that. Till here it encrypted the file. Okay, this line. After that it's again decrypting the file, getting credential. So again these are the credential. It's decrypting the file, and then again it's printing back. Okay, so if I see now ls, I have three files. Earlier it was two only. Earlier it was two. When I tried here ls, it was two files. Now I have three files. And if I want to try to read the C, I can read the file get device credentials. This file I can read it. Okay, but if I want to read this file, let's see, to read it, it is not able to read it. My device, this automation box got inactive. So never you can read this file. Now I have to restart it. 1 minute. Taking some time. So this way we are encrypting the file. Till here we are encrypting the file. If you don't run this script, also fine, because till here your file was created in encrypted form. Okay, now the thing how you can use this file in your production environment. Okay, so for that I have one more script. Okay, so this is very big script. So what is doing, this is the script for the getting configuration. Okay, and in this what they did, they define three major function. Okay, three major function. So they have created the function. So I told you, right, function are two type. One is pre-built function, like print is also a function, input is also a function, type, close, open, all these are function. Okay, they are doing some specific task. And second type, we can also create function manually, and whenever we need it we can call it. Okay, so this is the main script. Okay, what this script is doing, it's first it's creating device and credential, these two variable. In this variable, first it's calling read device function. So read device function is here. What this device read device is doing, it will gonna to ask it. So we have one file, conft. I can I wanted to tell you to show you running it, but the problem is I cannot able to install this library in my box. I tried so many things, but it's giving me error every time. So let's understand this way. So what this function will do, it will ask you the file name. Okay, so file name can be anything, but the file should contain the data in this format 192.168.23.2. First will be the IP, then second will be the type. Type means it's a Cisco iOS or Juniper or any other device. And the third will be the host name of the device. So you can say SWIT switch 1. Similar way, you can have multiple entry in this, or I can save this file and I can call this file. So this function will ask you one file name, the file name which containing this type of device data. This function will ask you. So in our main script, we are calling this function and we are asking device file. That means we are calling this function here, this function. So as you call this function, user going to get the message, okay, put the device file name. So you need to put the device file name. What this function will do after putting device file name, it will create the dictionary with the help of this data. In this, it will put IP address, type, and name in different format using this info, and it will keep it. So I have my device all in the device variable. Using this read device function, I got the data. And now this second line is for credential. So it's having function read device credential. Okay, and see here I'm calling the same encrypted device credential using the key. So what this function will do, let's see. This is the function. What this function will do, this function will ask you two things. First, it's going to ask you, okay, the file name which having the encrypted form of credential. That means uh yeah, that means this file name, because this having a encrypted. So then again it will ask you, okay, how can I get it, tell me the key again. So this function going to ask you two things. One is file name and second is key. So I given the encrypted file name. That means this file which nobody can read. If somebody have the key only, then it can decrypt using the key. Otherwise, nobody can read the username and password. This function will ask you the file name and the key. And what it will do, it will do the same thing which we did here. It will decrypt the file. It will get the actual device IP and credential, and it will store in this here credential. So first function is storing the device IP and the device type. Second function, second variable is storing the uh, credentials. Okay, credentials from my encrypted file. This file cannot be read by anyone. Okay, which I am using the Cisco as a key for this file. So this is going to store my credential. Now third line, I am saying, okay, I am doing the configuration. So this third line, what it will do, it will again going to run the function config worker. So what this function is doing, basically this entire script to store the show running configuration. Okay, so but in your environment, it's not always there will be only one type of device. Okay, so what this script will doing is, its script will identify the device first, either it's a Junos, either it's Cisco iOS or it's XR, and according to that it will run the configuration command. So if it's a Juniper, it's going to run show configuration. If it's a iOS, Cisco iOS, it's going to run the show run. If it's XR, then it will run show configuration running config. And then it will open one, create one file. Okay, and then it will store the file name. It will copy the data to the file, and it will save, create the one file. And the same function I'm calling here. Okay, so what this function will ask you, this function will ask you the two things. One is device, second is creds. What is device? Device I created already here. Okay, and creds is what? Creds is my credential. So this variable will have the credential in the decrypted form, because I already provided the encryption and the Cisco key. So what this function will do, this function will decrypt the username and password using the encrypted file and the key. So this, so again this function will ask you these two things, device and the credential. So where from where I'm going to get the device from here. Okay, because here I'm saying for IP address, device in device items. So from here I'll copy the IP address and the device, because I created the list here. You see, I created list IP address. Okay, so I created list. From here it will going to copy these two things, and it will going to use these two things in this function config worker, and it's going to run it, and it's going to save you the username and pass. It's going to save you the configuration file. So this is the example. So I showed you how you can decrypt it. Okay, I want to tell you run. I want to. Okay, let's try to run this. Let me copy it, Control C, and let me create one more file. Nano get config config. Why I'm running in automation? Because I cannot install my local system that simple encrypt function. That's why. Okay, let me paste it. Okay, now Control O, enter, Control X. So I have my I have my file. Okay, but before that I need to create one more file like that. Okay, I told you, right? I should have a. So in this I will have only one IP 23.2, because this automation box is only connected with this. Okay, so let me create the file name. Let me create the file name with which name I'll create. The read devices. This name. Let's see. Nano device file name. In this I'll have only one entry. Okay. Control O, Control enter, and Control X, ls. So I have get config file. I have uh, encrypted username password file. Okay, encrypted username password file. In this 23.2 was there. Okay, and I have the device file name, which having my device. Now let me try to run if it is working or not. Let's see. I can ping also to 192.168.23.2. Sorry, what is the IP? See, config purpose, correct. Yeah, I see IP config. So it's again change the IP. Okay, now let me try to ping. It's pinging. I have reachability. Now let me try to run the script. ls process. Same. Okay, 1 minute. Device file. Nano device file. Copy. Control O. Control X. What it's saying authentication failure, unable to connect. So it's running it, but I believe from this box, automation box to this device, SSS is not working properly. Why it's not working? Add SSH. Authentication failed. See, we got the error clearly saying authentication failed. Authentication failed. That means the username and password was not correct. Okay, do one thing. Before running it, okay, before running it, let me remove this file first. Remove encrypted this file first. Okay, and then ls, and then in there device credential. I will only have one IP, one device, 23.2. Okay, now control control X. Now I have only one IP. Let me create the encrypted file from within that. Okay, so to create the encryption file, we have a script py create Python. Encrypted file info. Okay, enter, enter, enter. Why it's saying index out of range? List index out of range. Device. Let's see it's created or not. Yes. See, it created the encrypted file. Let me try to run this again Python script. Python. Get config.py. So it's running properly. That means it should restore the running configuration. It's then giving me error. Giving me error. That means it's not working. So here it's taking somewhere. Encrypted device credentials is for string. And this line is not working properly. Why is not working? This is creating a dictionary. Okay, dev 0 or in device credential list 0. Taking the 0 value. Okay, let's see. I'll check this thing. I need to run it separately and I'll see what it's calling inside this. But this is a simple example. I think it won't take me some time. Why it's calling dev and what is the value inside this? I'll print it separately and I'll see one by one. So that means the idea is it should call the credential from the decrypted file properly. So here it's getting the file. Okay, it's getting the device IP address, switch name and type iOS. It's correct way it's going, and then it got the username and password as well. Okay, getting credential, and then till here it got the credential. But again here it's converting into a dictionary, and that time it's getting failed. It's giving me some error. That means it's got the credential, but okay, if it is the device credential, I'm going to call it. Okay, let me try to remove this line and let's see it's working or not. Menu, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Control O, control, control. No, I think that one. Okay, now it's going again 946. For the 46 lines in between device potential. Let me do this, this again. Device potential. Control O, control X, control O, control, control X. See, this is the last time we're doing. It's not working. I'll see and I'll let you know if it comes. Okay, that means we need this file, but why it's not converting it? I'll see it later on. So today I'm finishing my class till this. So tomorrow we'll see the Napalm library. Okay, and I'll check this thing in lab and I'll let you know why it's not working. So this is the example. Okay, we are encrypting the file, we are decrypting the file, and when we needed it we are calling it. So it's not necessary. You can use call anyway, right? So this this file, it's giving you in both ways. It's encrypting as well and it's decrypting as well. Okay, so according to your, okay, 1 minute. Device credential, it's the same, huh? Device credential, device credential, DEV0. Okay, one more time, let me. Okay, I'll try it later on, no problem. I'll try it later on. Okay. Okay, Mayur, so I'm ending today class and we'll have tomorrow Napalm. We'll start Napalm library.
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. Bye, Mayur. Bye, bye.